So as you wander along the long trail towards Triboar, you enter through sort of heavily sort of forested area surrounding it, and this is the sight you see as you sort of exit through the heavy forest, and it is this lovely little
Solitude.
I was thinking Bree.
What's that picture from?
Skyrim.
Does look a bit.
Is
Does
that
look a bit
Skyrim?
like
It's a modded
Solitude.
Skyrim, yeah. Heavily
Ah.
modded. It wasn't A and B. But I was looking at the. It's not quite the House of Arcade. Well, the Temple of Arcade. It's some person's house. It's looking up towards Castle Dower, I think it is. Yeah, Castle Dower.
Cool.
In Solitude. I've played so much Skyrim, I can recognise that in a heartbeat.
I literally just can't even bear Skyrim.
Really?
Yeah, it does my head in. I'm not a massive Elder Scrolls fan. To be fair.
I mean, I don't think it's the best fantasy thing, but it's just like the best thing there is. Often like Dragon Age and things like that, and Dragon Age has only got so much you can do in it, so you know.
Give me Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition anytime. So yeah, that is this is you sort of entering into the town of Triboar. Triboar, named as such from legend of the first settler who killed 3 boars in one day, apparently. There you go, lore. Cool. I even have a map, I do believe, of the area for myself. And it's blooming huge, so I can't even screen share it. Okay, so as you enter, you're entering from. Let me just see.
I don't remember. The militia came from here.
Yeah, the militia come from Yartar.
From Yartar. Okay.
Yartar.
Yartar. But because of the distrust now of their own Lord Helvin, the Militarican has decided to try and meet up with a contact that she has in the council of Triboar. So you're entering from the south of Triboar. You've basically been travelling up a road called the Long Road, because it is a long road. And
Really? I would never have guessed.
I know. Freaky how they just name these things as what they are. Now it's a straight road that, as you enter Triboar, it sort of splits off in sort of residential areas around the sort of, it's kind of like a big oval. I'll show you where you're entering from. Cool. You've been travelling up the long road. And this is the main sort of entranceway into Triboar. As you can see, there's a further long road going into the town, and it goes to a central sort of market area. Cool. Now the actual town, you don't see any sort of like heavy guard presence. What you did notice as you were entering, where there was a solitary horseman going past just as you were entering the town. It looks like he was patrolling. He was dressed like a guard and just patrolling the perimeter. Militarican informs you that this is how the guard system in Triboar works. They have 12 full-time guards who are called the 12. I know, again, what's that all about? Long roads and the 12. They are in fact 12 people who do a 10-day cycle around the entire town to patrol. And a large section of the town are actually trained guards, but they each take turns to be one of the 12 and do the circuit around. Now there are things that Millis tells you are specifically illegal in this town. One of which is hunting. It's not
Really?
allowed. And also the felling of trees. You're not allowed to cut down any trees in this area whatsoever. If anybody is caught hunting or cutting down trees, the penalties are incredibly heavy.
What if they've got
That's-
rats?
Hmm?
What if they've got rats?
What if they've got rats?
They can't hunt the rats to kill them.
No. Well, we're talking hunting for food in the outskirts because it's like quite a heavily forested area on the outside.
Oh, okay.
This place is really heavy on its forest then.
They are. It's allegedly, and I have it written here. Just gonna see this. Triboar is said to be the resting place of a god named Gweron Windstorm, the tracker who never goes astray. He's said to sleep in this strand of trees just west of town. It's often visited by travelling rangers who pray in that area. And it is told that if rangers pray in that area, they are given prophetic dreams. Yeah, it's not unknown for orcs and trolls to occasionally wander into the woodland from the north, which is the reason why the 12 patrol the perimeter. They are there to keep a watch. There were previously massive orc problems in the area, which many hundreds of years ago was practically stamped out. In fact, the previous ruler of Triboar, or one of the previous rulers of Triboar, died in the war against them. Now, Millis fills you in on the very sort of the short details of the town. The town is under the command of what they call a Lord Protector, who's currently the Lord Protector, if I can pronounce his name, Gilliman Frindos, apparently. I know, why the hell did they give him such complicated names? So I'm just going to say J. Frindos.
It's his rapper name.
And as I said, they only have these 12 full-time people on patrol around the edges. However, Millis lets you know that at any given moment, the town will pick up arms. And they can go within a moment's notice up to 50. And within a couple of hours, they can have 300 or more troops at the ready. So you can imagine it's many of the houses.
Somewhat like Switzerland, kind of like where they've got very militarized society, but like a very small standing army, but everyone's actually part of the army.
Yeah, it's kind of it's one of these places that it's quite casual, but on the when you first enter, it seems like quite a just a bustling town, quite happy and jovial. But at a minute's notice, any sign of danger, next thing you know, swords are being drawn from under tables, and and the townsfolk are ready to protect and die for their town and their Lord Protector.
It's their Lord's Protector, right? So
Mhm.
surely he's meant to protect them, not the other
Just
way
a
around.
title. It's a
I'm joking, yeah.
it's a democratic town. The Lord Protectors are voted in every 7 years, and so yeah, the hierarchy does change every 7 years. It probably it seems to have worked for Triboar for hundreds of years to vote in a leader. Everybody is responsible for being part of the military force. It's it's a busy town, and they don't have many problems other than the occasional wandering or control from the north. So, what would you guys like to do?
So how does the guard react when he sees more than 20 people armed?
The guard, he literally looks at you, carries on his rounds until he's out of sight. From then on, you know nothing.
Okay. So
You're
I guess
you're currently sort of still just entering the outskirts of the town. You know, you're in a few streets deep, in towards the centre of town.
And which time of the day is it?
That is a good question. We have a choice of 4. It is apparently nighttime
Okay.
as you approach.
So I guess we should look for a large place to sleep.
The tavern.
A tavern.
A tavern or an inn.
Why not?
Okay, so as you're heading along, and you know the sound of the footfall of the militia behind you, the people you've brought with you, the footfall it's quite getting louder as you go into the built-up town. It starts to echo a little bit off the stone in the buildings, and you notice that windows are starting to open and people are peering out of doors, and people are beginning to look like something might be up here. As you further go into the town, from around a corner on one of the side streets, all of a sudden a man on horseback, who you recognize as the patrolling guard, comes out and is now greeting you face to face. And by his side, there are 10 hastily armed townsfolk, just carrying short swords, and they're standing blocking your way. The guard shouts out to you, "Who goes there?"
Okay, I guess we should go to the fords. Or to the fords? Yes, that is the best way I've described anything, I think. We should go to the front of the kind of procession, as it were, if we're not already at front, and kind of talk with the guards, with our good friend of militia. Yeah, her.
So yeah, Millis has been leading the way, so she was guiding you towards this town. It's an area that, although you know of its existence, it's not somewhere that any of you have travelled frequently. So Millis has been your guide on this journey. So who would like to introduce themselves to the guard?
I guess we should all step forward and say
Hi.
Oh,
Hiya.
Alright, I step forward and I say that we are. Well, I am. My name is Kroskar. I don't use my actual name in dealings with people for RP reasons. My name is Kroskar, and these are my friends who are looking to seek shelter from elements in your fair town. We mean you no harm, but we may deplenish some of your inn's ale supplies while we're here.
The guard turns to you and he says, "If you are to stay in this town, we would not be too keen on so many so many armed men entering the centre of our town. We would like everyone to put away their weapons.
Well, most of our men don't really have anywhere to hold their weapons, do they, other than their hands?
That is true. They mostly have sort of badly made spears.
Yeah.
The guard, he suggests maybe turning over the spears to the townspeople at his side.
Well, how about... Okay.
What does Melis suggest? How does she feel about that?
Well, Millis is familiar with this town, and familiar with, they're not an insular town, but they're protective of themselves. She says there is no harm in turning over these crude weapons to the townspeople.
Are we allowed to keep ours?
We will need to rearm anyway. We will need to find some way of, rearming the militia.
Are we allowed to keep ours? That's always important.
Well, you guys are, you're adventurers. Adventurers come through here all the time. The only reason it looks suspicious is because you've got 20 people behind you with dodgy spears. It looks threatening. It's whether you can convince the guard that it would be a good idea for you to keep your weapons, even all of you keeping your weapons.
We also have places to keep our weapons, to stash them. We don't necessarily have to have them in our hands.
Yeah, you can put your swords away, you can sling your bows over your back. The guard's mostly concerned about the threatening look of so many people. It's disturbed the locals on your journey this far into town.
Okay.
Would anybody like to try and convince him?
Who's got the highest charisma? Yeah.
I agree with Millis, and I think that they should hand out their weapons.
Yeah, but I'm going to try and keep mine, if that's all right. I'll say I am an adventurer, and I am escorting my friends here, but I also come here looking for work and other I don't know,
Adventure type things?
employment opportunities and other adventure things, and mercenary contracts or whatever you may have to offer. So I would appreciate it if I could keep my weapon.
Would you like to make a persuasion roll?
Okay, I need to actually get out my dice for 1 second. I'm not gonna make it. I've rolled 2 plus my charisma, which is triple. So yeah, no.
So you sort of stammer and stumble over your words, and the way that you speak to the guard doesn't give him much confidence in you. He says, at least you could do is put your weapons away. Maybe anything particularly lethal you should hand over.
My growth axe isn't particularly lethal. It just might dismember a few people.
None of you have got anything that's not just a conventional weapon, anyway.
No, yeah, it's not anything which is particularly dangerous.
It's not like Alex is here and he's got a big wolf's-headed.
Yeah, Hughes has turned that over.
Hammer axe thing. So yeah, you put your weapons away. You conceal your weapons, and
yeah, I can consider the great axe.
Hamish and Millis are both in agreement that the militia should maybe disarm. I mean, their weapons are practically useless anyway. They're handmade.
And I want to tell the guard that I'm okay with handing my weapons over.
Okay.
You are? Wow.
Yeah. So as long as the guard himself take care of them.
Okay. The guard
You're going to regret that.
Let me just see now.
What I mean is that I don't trust the citizens, but I can trust the guard.
Okay.
With 12.
All right, the guard, he believes your intent. You seem sincere, like incredibly sincere, unlike your traveling companions. And
Hey,
he says,
I want a drink. That's like not bad.
I know, I get cranky when I can't get to the tavern as well. Yeah, the guard says, okay, you may keep your weapon. You seem like a sincere and holy man.
I am.
We will accept the spears from the militia. From your large group of companions behind you. I can see that the rest of you are adventurers by your clothing and your slightly rough exteriors.
Some would say this.
So the guard agrees for the party to keep their weapons. They're used to adventurers wandering through these parts, and they don't see much trouble from adventurers. The militia hand over their ramshackle spears. Millis offers up her sword, but the guard refuses. As she got closer to him, she recognized an emblem on her armor. And he just nods to her. Sort of like it's one of you. No, you may keep your sword. You may keep your sword. Millis, she's just not quite out of earshot of you guys. You can hear her asking the guard if it would be possible to speak with the Lord Protector in the morning. And the guard says that he will pass on the message and see if he will grant permission. So you are now free to wander into the town and find a place to rest.
So we may ask the guard about a place to rest.
Yes, your options are: there are 3 taverns and 4 inns. Now I'm imagining everybody would like to get a place to stay for the night.
Oh yeah, I would like to sleep under a roof for once.
Yes. So the choices are the Everwyvern House, the Frost-Touched Frog, North Shield House, and 6 windows. I think it's got more than 6 windows. So the 6 windows is it's a chilly and sort of a little bit of a low rent inn.
Cheap, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cheap inn. It's definitely the cheapest option. And if I can just find this here, the Everwyvern House it caters more for the nobility. Frost-Touched Frog is a fun, noisy place full of old mended furniture and colourful clients. And North Shield House, where's that? Apparently that's not even listed. So we'll just say there are 3 options. North Shield House doesn't seem to exist. The supplement I've got.
So 6 windows then.
Yeah, 6 windows is cheap.
How big is it?
Frost.
25, enough space for 25.
It looks like it would hold. It looks like it would hold 40 people. The Frost-Touched Frog.
Do they do a bed and breakfast, or is it room only? Or
I do believe it is a room only, and then you pay for your own breakfast.
so it's like
So, where would be the best service?
The best service would be the Everwyvern House, because it deals with the rich and the noble. If you're looking for a more
Affordable.
yet fun place than the Frost-Touched Frog.
So is that bed and breakfast?
It's just your standard inn.
So
And
So yes.
continental or like real breakfast?
Guys, I've got a slight problem. I don't have any gold at all.
not much. I
I-
have. I don't know. I have in my character sheet only 9 gold and 9 silver. But I don't know.
Oh, hang on. This will all be in Anders'
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Let me just find that.
Oh yeah. Actually, I might have some gold then, because I'm not sure if I...
And I think there was quite a bit of gold.
Yeah, there was, as I recall.
Yeah, let me just find
I'm
that.
gone for like 1 week and all the gold's gone.
So we've got to go and like find something to pay for all these people.
I've just got to get to this. Millis might be able to pull a favour with the townsfolk.
You could follow breastplate.
It'd probably
Yeah,
be easier to pay, 'cause, like I'd rather keep the kind of favors intact, and
Cool.
the
Right,
money's always redeemable or wherever, and you can get more.
Now, I've got written here...
I'm seeing 770 gold pieces on line 15.
Yeah, I see that there. And you've also got more, because you've got like 50 gold pieces, 5 gold pieces, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you've got definitely more than enough. Food and lodgings, let me see here, in-stay, so 6 windows would be poor, it'd be the cost of 1 silver piece per night per person. The Frost-Touched Frog, modest, so 5 silver pieces per person.
How many silvers and a gold?
10? Is it? Is that the exchange rate? Copper. Oh, I've got it here. Silver is. Yeah, there's 10.
Okay, so if we go for the modest place, we could even like rent a movie. As long as it's discreetly billed.
Discreetly billed. Right, so altogether there are there's the 3 of you. Millis, that's 4, so 24 people. 24 times point. That is bad math, Dave. Bad math. I shouldn't math online.
So it's like 5 silver, you said?
Yes, 5 silver. 24, that's 5 silver. 120 silver divided by 10. 12 gold. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds about right.
Yeah. 12 gold to cover absolutely everybody.
Okay. Are they all quiet places? Because I think we should avoid any possible problems with the militiamen, any brawls.
Well, one of them is described as kind of colourful.
Yeah, the Frost-Touched Frogs. It's a fun and noisy place full of old mended furniture and colourful clients.
I'll stay there.
It's owned by Alatha River Sword. Its walls are decorated with hunting trophies, and its patrons love to regale guests and each other with the tales that grow taller with each telling.
Oh
Sounds
yes,
good.
that sounds like my place. Okay. How can I take some gold from the party's funds?
Yeah, I mean, right, we should. I think you should dish out an allowance from the party, and if somebody can keep a note of how much has been spent. Right, Hamish, are you looking for somewhere a bit quieter? Maybe to sort of split the militia up a little?
I don't know. I only want to prevent any problems with the militia, because if they drink, maybe they they provoke other patrons.
Or other things, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably quite sensible. The militia,
Militia can go to the 6 windows place.
yeah. Well, the last time you were talking, and engaging their mood, they were still feeling a little bit angry, hurt, and vengeful. Sorry.
Yeah,
So,
then getting.
what's the intention? Do we want to keep them, or are we just going to bin them
Well,
off?
yeah, we need them. We
Really?
need them to fight with this lord, yeah.
Well, that all
Oh.
depends if whether or not you want to just keep on that track. It'd be a party decision as to whether or not you want to
Oh,
see
sounds
that
like-
through.
They've had their ass kicked about a bit, so it sounds like they need a feed and a decent bed, at least. I mean, I think it's reasonable enough to say, well, there's 20 of the guys, but we can't put them up in the better places, but we can get them somewhere that's going to get them their own bed, somewhere that'll get washed, and some food.
Well,
That
the Six Windows is a chilly old wooden rooming house.
That would be better than sleeping outside of a town, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it does, however. The townsfolk that are, they're gathered around you now because it's been decided that you guys aren't a threat. So there's a couple of people who are out and about at this time of night, and they're greeting you and having small discussions around about you. The Six Windows, they say, has an attic full of old clothes and gear left behind by clients as payment, or by guests who have never returned. And the owner, Wanda, she is always willing to sell these items. So the militia may be able to even, work out some form of payment through helping out around the Six Windows
Well,
to maybe restock some gear.
I don't have a problem paying for the militia if we're going to keep them, and that makes sense. We should pay for them because that kind of maybe makes them a little bit more loyal. Because we're not treating them like shit, we're treating them like humans.
I mean, they've got a decent amount of loyalty towards you. Thanks to Hamish, they're all alive.
Hamish saves everyone.
Hamish is like the true hero character for this group. Like he's the only character who's not
Hamish
like
is pretty much. He's the only person that's not.
a raging psychopath, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. He's the only person that doesn't. You don't just kill on sight all the time, do you?
what
You-
I don't
hate-
kill all the time. I'm quite like my character.
Right, I tried.
he's- My character's quite cynical nowadays. Like he used to be kind of more bravado, but well, he is still quite bravado, being a dwarf. But he's quite cynical now. Like considering he's got exile, tends to make you a bit less happy and things.
True.
But so like I'm kind of like I see our kind of 20 odd followers, well, kind of guardsmen as kind of a very useful like kind of accessory.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubting that allies are good.
Yeah, but like I don't see like as in I think like I don't see them being comfortable as being like as like being the most important thing right now. I think
Yeah, they just want a roof over their heads.
yeah, what's more important is them getting that fighting shape.
Yeah, exactly.
These those fights soon.
So yeah, I mean the militia, they discuss it amongst themselves and they say to you, look, we are more than happy to take simple lodgings until we rest up. There's no need for expensive lodgings. We're used to living in barracks.
Alright, sure. So the six windows. Yeah,
The Six
I've
Windows.
forgotten
The
which.
Six Windows, a place
Six
that
windows.
has in fact 40 windows, according to this.
So really, really cheap, right?
Yeah, that is 1 silver piece. So basically for
20
2
silver,
gold,
2 gold,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 2 gold. You can house them all for a night.
And we need to get them some money, well, not money, some food as well. But
Yeah, I mean, food meals per day. Uh, modest meals are 3 silver pieces. Poor meals 6 copper pieces. Comfortable 5 silver pieces. Ale 2 silver pieces per gallon. I was going to say
oh
by
yeah, I
month.
remember in this
Who
Pathfinder
drinks mugs?
game which I
Flagging.
played, like we were kind of looking at how much the pricings were for ale, like kind of first arriving in this town, and I couldn't actually be bothered to work out like the kind of thing for a pint or whatever. So I literally just bought a gallon and drank that.
Yeah, quite right. I mean, it's way cheaper to buy a gallon.
Yeah, it is.
In the long run. So,
I did drink it all in one night, apparently.
that would have been very, very good for many negative stats.
Yeah.
Cool. So, is it agreed that your lodgings are going to be for yourselves, modest, or
Yeah.
would you prefer more noble accommodation? Whether or not
modest
they
is
let
good.
you in
Oh.
is a different thing.
I don't necessarily need particular rooms, but what I do want is that I want to go to the Frosted Frog, was it?
Yeah, frost-touched frog.
Frost Touched Frog, sorry. I want to go there because that had some great.
It's the most
Entertainment.
entertaining of the inns.
Yeah, I mean my character's always been a one for trading stories, you know. I mean that's his name now is Crowscar, like to most people. So that's a story of its own. You know.
Well, it definitely is a good place to go and trade tales, which is a good place. So is everyone cool with that place?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Millis had a small amount of money on her, enough to pay her own way.
It was too good for us.
Yeah, well, she's going to join you guys at the Frost Touched Frog. She entrusts her militia to look after themselves for the night. But she literally, as you enter the Frost Touched Frog, she goes over to the owner and briefly asks for a room, hands over some money, and heads straight upstairs to get some rest. So you're standing in the inn. There are a couple of fireplaces on the walls. The atmosphere is full of sort of happy, calm laughter. You can hear people discussing hunting tales and from lands afar, not from this area. Yes, exactly. Hunting for animals is sort of rare in these parts. They normally trade. So people in the town, for them, hunting is seen more as a sport, and they have to travel to do it. So they come back into town, and the tales of the size of the boar they caught, it's always over exaggerated. The size of the fish they caught in rivers it's always a good foot bigger than the actual fish they didn't even catch. But everyone seems jovial. People are, the ale is flowing. There's a couple of musicians in a corner just playing very folksy country music. Celtic-inspired music. So yeah, the place is buzzing, but in a calm manner, not in a tables being swept aside and chairs being smashed over each other's heads sort of way. Cool. So are you guys just looking to put your heads down for the night? Do you want to get something to eat and drink? Do you want to speak to the locals?
Yeah, I want to speak to the locals. I want to have a pint and wagon or whatever the hell they come in, and
Apparently a mug. But yeah.
come in pints.
Okay, so now
locals.
who's keeping the accounts?
If you value your money, not me.
How much money do we have to spend? Because I
Well, basically,
already updated the spreadsheet with 12 gold pieces.
Okay, so you'd be looking at for yourselves. This is modest accommodation, so there are 1, 2, 3 of you. That is 1 gold and 1 gold, 5 silver for you guys for your accommodation.
For the 3 of us.
Yeah, all together.
Okay.
Your meals. I'm assuming you don't want to eat poor quality meals. You want to eat modest at least.
I'm going to also buy myself, well, not myself, I'm going to buy a gallon of ale and I'm going to share
That's
it
2
out.
silver pieces. So yeah, add another 2 silver onto the bill. And for the meals, you're looking at 9 silver for all of you together.
Okay.
And that's food for an entire day. That's that's all you'll need to spend for an entire day.
So I think that makes 14 gold and 6 silver.
That's cool. I think you guys can afford it.
Yeah.
Grab a beer.
Awesome. So, yeah. So you all settle down at a table, and you're finishing up your meals. You can see the locals are looking over at you. They can see a few battle scars on your faces. You haven't, the 3 of you haven't actually washed properly for several days. You've been on the road, so you're covered in trail dust and mud, and there's blood on your armor and your clothing.
And where is our friend Boris?
Oh, Boris! I forgot about Boris. Where is Boris for you guys?
Oh yeah, so we are 25.
It's
No, he's a crow.
He's a crow.
He doesn't need lodgings. He can go build a nest somewhere.
Well, what would you guys like? Where would you like Boris to be?
Staying with
Sitting-
Hamish.
Sitting on Hamish's head.
Perched upon his maul, or his warhammer. Because this isn't it's not a really posh inn. They do allow pets. Ravens aren't seen as being horrendous vermin around these parts, and anyway, nobody could kill Boris anyway. That's technically an act of violence.
Or hunting.
Yeah, or hunt him down. So currently, you've passed him off as a pet to the locals who have been curious as to why this cleric sits with a raven upon his shoulder, occasionally feeding it little bits of bread. And the locals seem happy with that. They've seen Stranger. A lot of strange adventurers wander through these parts. You end up in discussions with the locals over several mugs of ale, and you hear a couple of stories from them. You hear tales of rumours that there has in fact been a couple of fallen trees. They look like they've been cut down near. I can't pronounce this blooming name. It's basically a shrine, but it's not a shrine. It's more just an area of woodland. Guerin's Slumber, it's called. It's the main area where it would be seen as an absolute atrocity to cut down a tree, and there are rumours that there have been a couple of trees cut down in that area. And also there has been rumours of an orc scouting party sort of been spotted by one of the 12 as they patrol the border, and that's to the north. But that is all the tales as far as rumours in the area go.
Can I tell my story?
You can.
Well, I want to basically just, like, step up and try and get everyone's attention, like kind of like drunkenly boast about my exploits, you know, chopping
like
a
what I
flesh
do.
in half.
Cool.
Like, I want to kind of like swagger up and like kind of like hold like a massive tankard of ale, like kind of just drinking from it, and like kind of just swagger around and say like tell them the story about how I got my like name Crow Scar, like fighting this giant crow thing.
Now, are you standing on a chair, or are you standing on a table? Are you trying to get above head height?
Hamish and I will just quaff ale in the background.
So the locals gather around. They like a good tale, and they all seem to be, you know, paying attention to your every word and cheering you on to tell your story.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to tell it or?
Say that again. Sorry.
Do you want to tell it or not?
It's up to yourself. You can abridge it if you want. It's all good.
Okay. Well, I'll just kind of shorten it down. I don't actually have a very long tale.
What is it they say in? Do you ever watch the TV show Squeezed?
No.
Oh, Simon Pegg genius. Every time someone tries to tell a tale or a story, it just goes and skips the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I think if I'm audio level, I'm thinking like the old things popping up and top right. Am I like too loud or something? Or
no, I've actually just turned you up on my side.
Connection's not awesome.
Yeah, your mic occasionally cuts out a little.
Oh, okay. Might be like, oh, yeah. That's not so. Don't worry. So basically, just quite simply, I was hired to track down someone which had basically been killing lots of people, and I tracked this giant bird to its nest, and it attacked me, and basically carved up this massive scar down my face, giving me the name Crow Scar. It wasn't actually a crow; it was more like a kind of harpy. But it's just
like a kingfisher.
Yeah.
Or like a hummingbird or something.
But Harpy Scar doesn't really sound very good, and
neither does Sparrow Scar.
No, Sparrow Scar.
One of the locals, he turns to you and he heckles a little bit, and he's just like, I've heard tales around these parts. They all exaggerate.
Well, and I say that as it swung down its talon and struck my face, and I was having half of my face hanging on by a single thread, I lopped its head off.
So, do you have an irrational fear of creatures?
No. Like, it's not entirely true. It's although I do have a scar there. And
did you cut yourself shaving?
The fight was a real fight, but it just wasn't as blown up as as I tell it. It was more like kind of 6 of us hunting down this one harpy, and when the harpy just like kind of scratched me, and well, it didn't scratch me, it did actually create this big scar, and I kind of got knocked out. It wasn't really my kill.
Well, the locals like your story, and they cheer you, and a couple of the locals by your table another round of drinks. It's customary in the Frost Touch Frog that a good tale deserves good ale.
Nice.
So the owner of the tavern comes over and sort of puts down 3 big flagons of ale. She introduces herself as Alatha Riversword. And it says, if there's anything you gentlemen need, just tell me. We're good for alcohol and food. Your lodgings are ready up the stairs. Enjoy the Frost Touch Frog and its hospitality. The crowd sort of move away and they start, singing songs and telling more tales.
What about lusty wenches and laudanum?
I don't know if there's a lusty wench table I could roll on. No. What
Roll on
edition
your
of D&D?
perception.
Isn't it first edition D&D had basically a strumpets and harlots table?
Really?
I think it did. Yeah, I'm sure it did. I don't think they called it strumpets and wenches, but but they did have a table for ladies of the night. This is not the kind of tavern where you would find such things. There are many lady characters, dancing and drinking and telling their own tales.
That is actually just kind of as an aside, that's like one type of debauchery that my character doesn't really indulge in that much, because he's actually got a wife back home. Well, he did before he got exiles, which is why I'm actually mercenary, because I'm trying to provide for my family who I can't actually talk to or actually give the money myself. So I actually have to basically send the money back.
Oh my God! You've actually thought about your character.
Yeah, somewhat.
Everyone else is just like crazy.
So you're like a mercenary Indian kind of character. You send all your money home to your family.
Yeah.
A mercenary exiled immigrant.
Although
yes.
I do have. I do have. Obviously, I do keep money for myself, obviously, but like I just have to send quite a lot back. Yeah.
That is cool. I like that story. That is an awesome backstory.
Thank you.
Cool. So, the night is drawing on. The inn is slowly beginning to empty. There, a few characters are being helped out of the door. Barely able to stand. And you notice that the inn it's getting quieter now. The songs have stopped being sung. The tall tales have now reduced to the occasional crying person in the corner who's a terrible drunk. Everything's calming down. What would you like to do?
I guess I finished like as much of my ale as possible without. Well, I'd probably do for a bit, but
But you've got a gallon. It comes in like a. I don't know how big's a gallon. A big that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Big.
And I did
I've
get
never
another.
been to America. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Same. I did get like another ale tankard or whatever as well, didn't I?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I am literally piss drunk. I probably bought, like, one of you would probably have to carry me out to my room.
Cool.
Probably because I'm so drunk.
And Hamish, are you a man of decorum? Do you present yourself in a better fashion than these ruffians?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Are you the kind of cleric who will get very drunk in public?
No.
No,
Not at all.
you're more reserved.
Yeah.
I never said I was drunk. I can handle my drink.
Well, I can too, but still, a gallon is still a gallon.
I mean, a gallon for a dwarf. Yeah, I don't know. A dwarf.
That's
Dwarfs
like
have got a hearty
appetizer.
constitution.
Dwarves are very stout, but it's not going to make much difference. Like when you have that much like strong ale,
True. Was it they say? What's the difference between a dwarven wedding and a dwarven funeral? there's always one less drunk at a dwarven funeral.
That's great. That's great.
Yay, internet. Yeah. Cool. So you just gonna? Is everybody just going to settle down for the night and you know, let the night pass? And...
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of you, well, the two of you help Normand up to his room and make sure, you know, he's in the recovery position so he doesn't die. Yeah, he's murmuring and, you know, he's doing that thing, you know, when you're really drunk and you're being taken away from your alcohol, and he's kind of swearing at you a bit, you know, saying that he's not drunk and blah, blah, blah. Occasionally bursting into a slight sob and then laughing. So you know, you put him to rest and you just head to your own rooms. Okay. So night has fallen. The inn is in silence. It must be round about, you know, a couple of hours before dawn. And Hamish, you're asleep at the moment, aren't you?
Yep.
Could you make me a perception check, please?
Yep.
Oh God.
That's 12.
Okay. You very lightly stir in your sleep. You haven't quite woken up. You feel that you've had a strange dream of a stranger sort of entering the room. I just need to check something. Okay. So you sort of feel like you've drifted back to sleep and it was a strange dream, and all of a sudden you're awoken by somebody tripping over your chainmail. Or just tripping over your... you don't have a helmet on, yes?
Yeah. I'm wearing not while I'm asleep.
Cool. So basically, you hear the clattering of metal, and you wake up with a start.
Okay.
And standing, well, not standing, but sort of on their hands and knees on the ground, there is a character in dark clothing with a hood. You can see with your amazing dark vision, you can see the glint of a blade beneath their cloak. What do you do? In fact, not what do you do. Roll for initiative.
I told you guys to weapons would be a
That's
terrible idea.
6.
Right,
6
you've got a
is
6.
my initiative.
I'm just going to type mine into the chat here.
But you did manage to evade a round of surprise, so that's good.
Yeah, you avoid that because the intruder in the room rolled badly with their being sneaky and tripped over. So yay, oh stupid intruder. Okay, so you got 6,
Yep.
and my intruder rolled a 7. So you can choose what you want to do now.
Wait. What? How does he...
Well, he's currently in his bed. He's unarmed, and the intruder is on the floor.
But he... Hamish rolled a 6, and the intruder rolled a 7, so...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I got my numbers the wrong way around. That's cool. So, right, in that
Sorry,
case...
Hamish.
No, that's cool. The intruder, instead of instantly attacking, rushes towards the window.
He's gonna try and escape. Make a noise.
As if he was going to jump.
It looks like it's an escaping maneuver. You are on basically the second floor of this inn.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking around the room and you can see that the only thing that is wrong with your room is that the window is open when it was once closed. It's springtime, so it's not the warmest.
Okay. So can I act?
Yeah, their movement, and they're sort of climbing out. They're halfway out the window, and yes, you can make your move.
Okay.
Push him out. Push him.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on him.
Oh!
Oh!
Okay, so
That is some amazing play. Wow.
I guess he's a humanoid.
yes, he is a humanoid.
And then he must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw. And the target number is 14.
Okay, let me just find. Here on Earth, is it? Oh, it's there. So, Wisdom, so what's my target number, sorry?
14.
He is held.
Okay.
Make a noise, and I'll.
Let me see. As fast as I can, I'm going to tie him up with a rope, because he can make another saving throw at the end of every turn.
Okay, no problem. So you quickly grab your rope from your backpack.
Yep.
And you've how it's his next turn. He can try and break this, isn't it?
He's gonna have two things to break out of then, both for spell.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so can you make me a dexterity roll to see if you can sort of quickly tie a rope? And your target number is. Let's see, your target number's 12.
Okay, that's hard for me.
We'll say it's a 10 then.
Okay, I got 11.
Hey! Cool, so you successfully tie up this intruder. You've dragged him off the windowsill. He's currently, in a, he's caught in a spell of hold person, so he's in a slightly awkward position, but you've managed to tie him up.
So I guess I know in which rooms are my partners sleeping.
Well, yeah, you're in adjacent rooms. Well, Norman's across the hall.
Yep.
Probably unconscious, and Flax is in the room just next to you.
Perfect. I'm going to knock the wall that separates Flax's room from mine.
Okay, Flax.
Loudly.
You want to make a perception check? So, what would that be for your perception? So a D20 plus. Who are you?
+1 for me.
So it is. Cool. Your target number for waking up after drinking is definitely, I would say, a 12.
There you go, 18.
Hey! You wake
For
up.
a change, I wake up.
You wake up with a start, and you can hear Hamish's voice from the other side of the wall, shouting for you to basically get out of bed and come and help.
I'm going to be a very bad way.
What's that?
I don't think I'm going to be capable of helping, am I?
I think your difficulty roll is going to be like a target number of 18, going by the amount you've drank. Cool. So, Flax, what are you currently doing?
I'm bombing through to the room that that Hamish is in. I'm going to still be a little bit inebriated, so I'll bump into the doorway as I come through and hit my knee, which was quite sore.
Norman, do you want to make a perception check, and your target number is 18 to see if you heard anything going on out there?
Oh, I think we've lost him.
Oh, so we have. I'll re-invite him.
Connection wasn't awesome.
Hi, sorry.
You're back. That's cool. Just trying to invite you
sorry.
again.
It's fine. Sorry. Yeah, I just refreshed it. It worked for some reason.
That's
Just
cool.
because that works. Good.
There we go. Yeah, so if you could make me like Flax is just sort of stormed out of his room towards Hamish's room. He's still a bit drunk, so he's bashing into the walls and the doors. If you could make a perception check, your target number is 18 to see if he wakes you with his racket.
No.
What
I'm
did
at
you roll?
15.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
Yeah, close.
You slightly stir, and you murmur something about turtles and.
I turn over and cuddle up to my pillow. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Cool. So, Flax and Hamish, you are.
You said that the intruder had a hood.
Yeah, they had a hood over their head. Quite a, it's sort of quite an ominous hood. It's like it's obscuring their eyes and casting a dark shadow upon their face. You can see the blade that was glinting in the moonlight through the window. It's just like a sort of maybe a 12-inch long athame dagger sort of thing, like a curved blade, almost like a short kris. The krises have got the wavy blades.
Like a cheese knife.
So, I'm going to remove his hood while I ask him, who are you?
Okay, you pull the hood back from their head, and you notice the first thing you see is a branded mark on his forehead. It's a human male. He's got a completely shaven head, like completely bald. Right on his forehead, much like that cool dude from Stargate. He's got a brand right on his forehead. And would you like to make me a...
My guess would be that's either a cultist or a slave.
I'm just actually trying to... I keep putting bits of paper and stuff in, and
we have a long and peppered history with cultists.
You do have a long and peppered history with cultists.
I think I missed that ball, didn't I?
That was
before I joined.
Third or fourth.
Yeah, that was the mass slaughter of the cultists.
It was. Many fingers were taken. Could you make me a... What would this be? I would say an Arcana check.
Okay. I need Bombasticus now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I've got a +3 for Arcana.
16, not bad.
That's not bad at all. You recognize from your studies this symbol is a symbol that is occasionally used by liches to brand their human followers. This one in particular has a branding that shows it's like a dragon head, but it has arcane language, just very subtle symbols that denote. They basically mean slave of a lich, basically, but you can't tell from what area or why this
So-
person's there.
So it's
far.
both. So I was right on two cases. He's both a cultist and a slave.
Yeah, technically, I would say,
Total son of a lich.
So,
Um,
so I guess either cultist or slave. I was right on both accounts. I am a genius.
yeah.
But you're very modest about it, so that's good.
That's the best way to be a genius.
Humble, humble. Yeah.
Really humble. Best.
Cool. So,
do I know if these followers used to be charmed, or are they free people who choose to be cultists?
they're technically free people who choose to become in the employ of their masters or mistresses.
I tell Flax what I know.
Cool.
And I tell him that I ask Flax, you could take care of the cultist while I go to
Can I?
wake Nolmunap.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. So, right, you go through and you start shaking the drunken dwarf. Which sounds like a euphemism. So, yeah, Norman slowly regains consciousness. His breath smells terrible. But yeah, he stumbles to his feet.
Can I make a constitution check just to try and shrug it off a bit? And
Yeah, totally. Say a target number of 15.
21.
Brilliant. Okay, you basically slap yourself around the face a couple of times, and you start slurring less and less. So you follow Hamish back to the room.
Yeah, I
When
tell
Hamish
Nolmun,
said,
you should come to see this.
when Hamish said take care of him, did he mean like, hey, take care of him? Or did he mean
Did you mean take care in the Italian
take care of the
sense
guy?
word? Oh dear.
So yeah, I guess in the meantime, what I've done is I've whipped out the knife that he had attached to him, and I've started pressing it slowly into his kneecap and asking him, "WTF, dude?"
You
Can I-
notice the blade has a very elaborate engraving upon it.
As it's slowly making its way into his kneecap.
Yes. Something,
Yeah, I
Norman,
wanted to-
you were going to say.
Yeah, can I just ask, where's Boris?
Boris is probably at this moment in time flapping his wings somewhere.
Okay.
I think probably he'll be in Hamish's room, so yeah. Boris will have been awakened.
Can
Oh,
we allowed to
that's where
use-
you're going.
Are we allowed
That's where you're
to?
going.
Well, yeah, because out of all of us, I mean, maybe if Bombasticus were here, he would know more about it. But currently, out of all of us, I have out of some strange instinct, I think that the centuries-old necromancer might have more knowledge of a lich than we might. So, just some odd idea of mine.
Not a bad idea.
So, are we allowed to use Bombasticus's wand of communicate with animals?
Well, now remember that Boris can understand you. He,
Yeah, so we should
How-
do one peck.
yeah, I was going through this whole thing a little bit wrong. So originally, I was going to, make his use talk with animal every time you wanted to speak to him. But then I remembered he's like a centuries-old necromancer. I'm sure he can cast that at will in reverse.
Hmm.
Or he can communicate through varying different ways.
All right. So I basically just wondering, like, and I assume Hamish tells me a little about what's going on and stuff, and I just basically turn to Boris and I say, so what do you know about this?
So Boris hops down off the headboard of the bed, where he's been casually sleeping until he was rudely awakened. And you can see him flap his wings down, and he sort of hops down over the bed towards the strange intruder. And you see him staring intently at the branding upon this person's head, and his head turns from side to side, and he looks with his little side eye, staring at it. And Boris has decided to just, instead of making anybody see a talking crow, or sorry, talking raven, that he will just communicate directly to your mind. He's going to just speak within your own head, and he doesn't have much to say other than you must learn about the person known as Pox.
Is he small?
Pox. The name is P-O-X, as in small. And obviously Boris has recognised this symbol. He's recognised it as the symbol of a lich known as Pox. So that's all he is giving to you just now.
So
He really does enjoy being cryptic, doesn't he?
You've got a necromantic raven, dude. What more do you want? You're already way OP. This episode he's been nerfed.
It's like playing Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can this guy talk? Does he have a tongue? I've already started stabbing him.
Well, yeah, he's making whimpering sounds of pain as you're pushing the blade into his kneecap.
Why are you here, dude?
He just shakes his head, and you can hear him almost under his breath saying, "Must not say, must not say."
Okay, so that means he's pretty close to saying.
I think it's quite obvious what he's here for.
What is he here for? It's not obvious to me.
Man in hood, wielding knife, in room of our cleric. He's killing the only person who's got a chance of actually finding him.
I thought he was just coming to confess.
But I think he was doing something with my chainmail.
He actually just tripped over your chainmail.
The bastard.
He's a human, he can't see in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, he's keeping his mouth shut just now. He's literally just saying
Can
to
I,
himself, must not say, must not say.
Can I move back to a tactic that served me well in the past and push his hand out in front of him and take his knife and just start to remove his index finger? From that joint.
Before we do that, didn't you mention that there's something about the knife?
Yeah, it was
So
funny.
should we investigate it a bit more?
Well, we can test how sharp it is.
Flax is back to his normal self.
Definitely.
So how sharp is your knife, guy?
And Gary says, must not say, must not say.
I want his finger. So, unless you guys have a better idea, I'm taking his finger.
I asked him, what is your master doing when he knows that you have failed?
And again, sort of almost under his breath, he just says, "Mistress will not be pleased. Mistress will not be pleased."
Mistress.
Mistress.
Okay. I'm taking his finger. I'm going to take his finger. His finger's coming off.
Just go ahead and he's
Yeah,
gonna
just
his
take off
finger.
his finger. Yep, it's coming off.
Cool.
Back.
Cool. You don't even have to roll for such things. As you slice into his finger, the engraving on the blade begins to glow green.
God damn it.
And as the finger is removed, a tendril sprouts forth from the finger where the finger was.
God
And it
damn.
starts to wrap around your wrist.
It's one of those Japanese knives.
It's like Japan all over again! So,
Okay.
cliffhanger.
Don't leave me to the
Just asking, how big is this room?
The room.
Yeah, which is it?
Modest lodgings, I would probably say. What's better? What's a good sized room in the Premier Inn? Or a travel lodge? About that size. Maybe 20 foot
Well,
square?
Alright, so it's quite a big room then, alright.
Yeah. I know 20 foot square is maybe way bigger than a Premier Inn.
It's about 3 Premier Inns stuck together.
Yeah. They built everything bigger back in the old days.
They sure did.
So for tonight's
Okay.
little efforts, you got into town safely. You have 3 days of travel. I'm assuming along the way, and I must remember actually, put this down for everyone. Let me think now. For your journey from the foot of the mountain to this town, you get 50 XP for that, even though we hand waved it, but just to consider you did stuff along the way.
We did a montage.
And then for being drunk and stuff and enjoying hospitality, I would say get another 50 XP, and that's about all. So 100 XP for today. I'm assuming nobody's leveled up.
Nope.
No, absolutely freaking not.
So, how far is everybody away from hitting your next levels?
I still
I'm
need
pretty
1,434
You
XP.
need 400.
Wow! What was that, Regal?
400.
That's not bad.
To level 4.
What was that, dude?
200 XP into level 4.
Oh, right, cool. 200 XP, right, cool. And Flaxy Boy, do you know what you were at?
Just trying to see it here. I only just leveled up on the week before last, so I'm still quite a way away. I'm just trying.
What level are you now? Are you level 3 or 4?
4, I think.
4. And Hamish, you're level 4.
Yeah.
Cool. It's crazy how it totally levels out around about level 4. It just takes like so long. But like the first 2 levels are so fast. I think they designed that quite well.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So today I realized that this entire adventure is taking place literally 2 towns away from the town that's in the starter set. The was it called Philander or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally 2 towns away. That's crazy. I didn't realize we were so close. I'm waiting for like people to get to certain levels. I was looking at the Rise of Tiamat, and it starts at level 8.
Ooh. Give us more cultists to kill.
Oh, there's lots of cultists and that. But yeah, the Rise of Tiamat, level 8, and Horde of the Dragon Queen, that's supposed to be like levels 1 to 7. So we've missed our chance there. Might do that again another time. And that's after Jose runs everybody through a Dark Suns campaign. So, guys, thank you very much. Has anybody got any questions or anything they need to say?
No.
Nope.
No, I think we're good.
Thanks to
Awesome.
you.
Cheers, Dave.
Not much happened.
Yeah, but those are sometimes the good ones.
Yeah, that's true. People got drunk, and
Yeah.
nobody lost an eye, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully see you all again next week,
Okay.
and we'll see if we can get some more bodies in as well. Hopefully, Anders won't have man flu. Cool.
From
So,
that.
everyone take care, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Take it easy, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, Dave. Bye.